Oh, 7 citizens, Black here from CasaBLACK Gaming, hoping more people have made it into the verse by now, but I know there are still many who have not, and to those folks all I can say is that I hope some other game is keeping you company during this trying time. Just don't fall in love with your away mistress. Now, fortunately for me, I have mostly avoided logging in issues other than some random infinite loading screens, and so I've been out in the verse and really focusing on trying out different things with 318 other than salvaging, which I was focusing on quite a bit the first couple of weeks. Now, don't get me wrong, salvaging has been a great way to make money and spend time in the verse, but it's not all there is, and in fact, I've been pleasantly surprised by another older form of gameplay in the verse, that being delivery missions. But before I tell you guys why you should be doing delivery missions and about all the fun you could be missing, I want to first have a come to Jesus moment. Only instead of coming to Jesus, I'd like you to come on down and like, subscribe, and definitely comment on this video, because unlike some of the more popular content creators out there, I actually reply to the majority of the comments in my videos because I value you guys and your opinions even when they're different from my own. So with the necessary housekeeping out of the way, and hopefully my talk of Jesus did not scare anyone away because I was literally just using him for comedic purposes here, let's get to the topic at hand. So first, for those of you who stuck around this long, even if you're rolling your eyes at the idea of delivery missions being one of the funnest things you can do in the verse, I want to say thank you, and that the title of this video, after my first few runs, was something along the lines of why delivery missions are the worst mission type in Star Citizen. I know, not a catchy title, but it's how I was feeling after doing just a couple of them. Now with any guide, I begin scripting during the guide, and that was the running title, and the video was feeling like it was going to be short and not really a guide at all, and more just a PSA to stay away from delivery missions, and I was going to can the whole guide idea. Then something cool happened. I switched locations from Crusader, where I had started out, and moved over to Hurston. Now I'll go into why this was such a good change in the guide that will follow this video, but for the most part the fun came in the form of having more random encounters while doing the delivery missions. Had I not switched locations, then I would have missed out on a world of fun, which I will go into now, and also try to sway you on why you should be doing these missions as well. But just know this video almost didn't happen. So for anyone who mentions delivery missions in chat or on Reddit, you will most likely be met with what my title said up there, which is that for the amount of time and sometimes trouble you go through to do a delivery mission, the pay absolutely sucks. And I definitely agree. If all I was doing in the verse, or how I felt that I needed to spend my time in the verse, was for the purposes of grinding UEC per hour, then no, I would not use delivery missions for that purpose. But there is more to playing Star Citizen than earning credits. I mean, sure, we would all love to earn great credits for any and everything we do in the verse, and the very idea that I am taking missions which suggests that I'm looking for pay here over fun, and yet can willingly admit that the pay is the worst part of said mission, sounds like a huge contradiction, right? I mean, it really does, but what the delivery missions lack in good scalable pay for the time and effort you do to complete one, they make up for in getting you and your ship, with or without friends tagging along, out to random locations where with 318 so many things can happen that win or lose can make your time in the verse way more fun than just sitting in your cockpit shooting a freaking laser at a piece of scrap or a rock. I'd say the element of surprise, especially from a PvE element, is also more fun than just running a bunker, where for the most part you know what to expect because the outcomes when doing these delivery missions can completely be random. But how? Well, before I get to some examples, let me first say that while the pay does suck when leveling up the reputation, the pay does get better. So for Hurston, you can level up the Redwind Line Haul reputation, which only goes to level 2, and then you'll start receiving higher payer missions, so the credits per hour can definitely move up if you're wanting to make more money with deliveries. Now, of course, they will never be the highest credits per hour, and I think the lower tier delivery missions, especially those with derelict outposts in them, need to jump up in price because those are a lot harder to complete and very time consuming with how far out those outposts can be from a jump point. But the 45k paying ones that you receive after getting that rep up have so far been pretty easy to complete and can get your delivery pay up, and actually are easier than the lower tiered quest you had to do to get your rep up. So overall, there needs to be some credit shifting done here. But once again, this video is about the fun you can have while doing these mission types and not the money. But I just wanted to throw that out there. When I first came out to Hurston and took some missions, I first did a simple one and done delivery mission. And then I think I did my first multi-package delivery after that. Now at first things went according to plan. I arrived at a normal outpost I could jump to, went inside, grabbed a box, came outside, jumped from the stairs to avoid possibly tripping to my death, etc. That was the most danger I encountered. Then I was interdicted on my way to a moon, and that was pretty cool. I killed my attackers and was able to keep going. Then I was attacked near the station I had to deliver a package to, which was weird because it was a normal mining outpost with a landing pad and everything. I was actually pad rammed by an NPC who aided into my left booster while I was being attacked overhead by two other NPCs. I did not get footage because it felt like a normal drop off to me and I was kind of caught unprepared. I was able to repair that booster before lifting off to then run from those two NPCs because I honestly had no idea what was going on until I got away and turned around to scan the ships. Now after that I took a multi-part delivery that had me going out to a derelict outpost. Now with my first derelict outpost delivery mission attempt, I made a whole video on that experience, which I'll link at the end of this one, but needless to say, things did not go my way on that run and I failed the mission, but not without having a blast, and my mind suddenly opened to not only what was possible, but also to really wanting to complete these delivery missions that send you to outposts, even though the money was absolute dog shit. So I went out again and again, taking delivery missions that had at least one delivery outpost as a stop, and I'd always go to those first, so if it failed, which more did before I learned some things that helped, I would not have wasted my time going to pick up the easy boxes that were more likely to succeed. Do the hardest job first has always been my mentality. What I found was that I enjoyed the challenge of not knowing what to expect at these outposts. Due to what I suspect are spawning issues at these camps, these NPCs can be pretty deep when it comes to how many spawn there. It's nothing to see them spawn in like a bowling pin formation with around 10 or so guys waiting to take you out with a shot or two. Also, you never know when the NPC Cutlass will show up, which always changes your plans and makes them a priority. Chasing after them or them chasing you and having a dogfight overhead is more randomness that adds to the fun. Shooting them down and then being able to go inspect their ship and loot any cargo crates or their bodies adds more layers and depth to what you're doing. Heading back to the outpost to grab the delivery box only to realize 5 more guys spawned while you were gone, and then having to take them out is really cool as well. Being brave and leaving your ship to look for loot chests adds more excitement and danger to the mission, and also it's completely optional. You're more than welcome to clear the area and hurry up and grab the delivery box and jet out of there, but you can increase those profits by looking for loot or tractor beaming all the dead NPCs you killed to get their armor and weapons to enhance those profits a little bit more. Running delivery missions has made me go out to these new areas with outposts that were not there before 3.18, and also just makes the game feel more alive and not just a chore. Being interdicted more in space on your way there has also led to some interesting side play and can also satisfy those who want to explore and find random loot on the ships you take out, not to mention how cool it is just floating out in space, feeling vulnerable while you search through fiery wrecks for cargo to steal. I know that pirating is in game, but this gives some of that pirating flavor without actually being a pirate or entertaining PvP. Now of course these NPCs will never give you the same satisfaction or randomness of a real player, but it still offers up enough variety and random chance that it's highly entertaining. And you know what? I was not dissatisfied with the money I raked in doing this part-time while in the verse on my alt account. I managed to make over 300,000 credits after a few days, and that included the time it took for me to figure things out and learn some tricks, which will of course benefit myself and other players after I make my guide so that you can have fun and earn more credits as well. Anyway, that's going to do it for this little video on why I think more people should give delivery missions a shot, especially if you're looking for something to give you that feel of danger or randomness that some missions simply cannot offer. For those of you who are doing delivery missions already, let me know down below how they've been for you and if you've enjoyed them in 3.18 or what you disliked about them, besides the pay of course. I think we can all agree that the pay is very lacking, which is a shame because it would be nice to see more people out doing these missions, which would only add more flavor and danger to them. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and remember to be kind to your fellow gamer, don't leave home without a tractor beam, and stay positive citizens.